Hi there YouTube, Guildmaster here, and today we're going to be talking about touchy subjects and how to handle them. So first and foremost, let's make something really clear. If at any point in time that you think you're going to be uncomfortable during a game because you have a trigger or a particularly strong emotion towards a specific subject matter, you need to talk to the person running your game. If you don't talk to them about it and it occurs in game, you have no right to get mad at them for their error. Because at that point it's not. You didn't notify, therefore they don't know. You're justified in being angry about your trigger being triggered, but not far enough to go after the person. Something that a lot of new players have a problem understanding is that actions have repercussions in and out of games. And sometimes long-term players forget that too. Pretty much what that means is how you handle a situation affects game in and out. For absolutely no reason whatsoever should you as a player go after another player for their character's actions or what their character has said. In many cases, a character's actions do not reflect those of the player, and that is something that's really important to remember. Be you role-playing online or are you role-playing in person at a table with human beings. Of course, then again, online you're probably role-playing with human beings anyways, but that aside. So Guildmaster, you might ask, what's not okay to do? Anything that you feel in a social situation that you wouldn't want someone else to do, don't do it. It's pretty much that. If you think that it's going to disrupt the game, don't do it. Save your upset for after the game. And I know that's really hard to do, but the best thing that you can do in a situation like that, especially if it is your character not involved with the situation and not in the space that the situation is occurring and it's upsetting, or even if your character is in the space that that situation is occurring, quietly get up from the table and leave the room. Take that opportunity to take a break. Go have a smoke if you smoke, go get a drink if you're thirsty, or even if you're not. Go take a walk outside. All of those things are acceptable ways to handle one of these kinds of situations. Another acceptable way to excuse yourself from the game is to pass the DM a note and say, BRB uncomfortable, or something like to that nature. Now you might be asking, well, what if everything that's going on is being caused by one specific player, and it's completely appropriate to their character and the situations that have been presented to them, but I am absolutely furious as a player as to their actions? Wait until game is over, grab your DM, or, hey DM, come hither, or your GM, come, sit with me, and the person that you're having the problem with, and sit down and talk with them. Communication is key, and I promised you that that would come back. The whole point of this video is that if you are at any point uncomfortable with what's going on in your game to your character, or with another character, or just a situation in general, talk to your DM. Don't just ollie out with no words to anybody, because at that point, if you're already so far into a game and you suddenly disappear off of the face of the earth and don't talk to anybody, people are going to be worried that you've gone away forever. And that's not usually a good thing, because by then you've probably established some pretty meaningful relationships with the people that you've been rolling dice with. So when we were talking about things that are not okay to do, I did some of the bigger, more dramatic things, like literally flipping a table, or screaming at somebody in-game, or disrupting in general. Two very specific things that can happen at times are people make commentary in order to help relieve stress or tension. And the problem with that is that it breaks the immersion of the game. Yes, you are uncomfortable with what's going on. However, you also need to respect the other players in the game. You need to be able to let them have their character's experience in game, and that is your opportunity to get up and go, quietly so. Things that are not appropriate are making snide comments like, or I figured. Things like that, those don't help the game. Those rip your fellow player out of the fun of it, or in this case, the storytelling that your DM has worked on for ages, and it, bundles it up and throws it over their shoulder into the bin. So the golden rule of D&D is always bring snacks. So to summarize, if at any point in the game that you feel uncomfortable what is happening to either you or another character in-game, you need to pull your DM aside and have a conversation. If the other person is causing the offense, you need to pull the DM and that player aside. If it's just something going on with you, pull your DM aside. Communicate with your being behind the screen. It's very important. I know that I'm keeping this a little bit light. If you guys have any questions or want something clarified, feel free to hit me up in the commentary, because I'm really happy to answer any more specific questions, and I'm happy to do it over private message. Guildmaster Dan is also working in collaboration with this touchy subjects. He had a previous video, and we'll link you to it in the doobly-doo down below, about triggers, but that's more for your dungeon masters, but I feel players could really learn a lot from that video as well. So, thank you guys for stopping by. I look forward to your comments and your questions, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye!